The Rheinmetall factory is making Boxers, which are a type of armoured vehicle, weaponised armoured vehicle. They're making about 200 for the Australian Defence Force, and now they've got $1 billion to make for the German government as well.
Oh, so I went to the Rheinmetall factory and I had some wheat paste and some A4 sheets of paper, and those sheets of paper had images of people who had died as a result of the Indonesian military, and so I pasted them up on the near the entrance to this factory.
They're a weaponised armoured vehicle. They're used for troop transports, but they're also weaponised with various types of small cannons, which can actually be used to knock down buildings and threaten people, threaten communities.
And with the war in Gaza continuing uninterrupted, the Israeli Prime Minister taking aim.
That objective, the destruction of Hamas,
נוציא מתוכם את אנשי החמאס ונכניס אליהם כוחות אחרים אשר יאפשרו שלטון אחר שגם מאיים על החמאס.
Looks like as many as 40, if not 45 killed. The Israeli army is saying, of course, that it was a precision strike.
in the southern city of Rafah. 1 million people who had been sheltering there now displaced again.
We're concerned about Rheinmetall in Queensland because Rheinmetall not only has this massive factory at Redbank, which was subsidised by the government, but it's also they've also subsidised a huge munitions factory at Maryborough, and that munitions factory is making 155mm shells, which are really the weapon of choice. They're the ones you see the Israelis signing in Israel. They're the munition of choice to bomb these communities in Gaza.
People killed across Gaza in the last 24 hours, the war weary waiting with the world for a response from Hamas, the next step towards a ceasefire.
Are continuing to review one shipment that President Biden has talked about with regard to 2,000-pound bombs because of our concerns about their use in a densely populated area.
Less known is that we have the enemies within, which are mostly radical people that are trying to pull Israel into an endless war. And they're grabbing Prime Minister Netanyahu by the you-know-where.
Mr. Gantz's decision to leave I'm not sure that Prime Minister Netanyahu was willing.
As political wrangling continues, on the ground, at least 8 dead in airstrikes in central Gaza, including 3 children.
At some point, I was grabbed and dragged away from the entrance, across the car park. Afterwards, the cops turned up.
Saying Hamas is an idea, Hamas is a political party. It is rooted in the hearts of people. Whoever thinks we can eliminate Hamas is mistaken. On the ground in Gaza, Israeli tanks and troops have advanced deeper into Rafah. 8 Palestinians were reported killed in the city. Gaza, Israeli tanks and troops have advanced.
And that's the ones we see being used in Gaza to destroy the city, to kill the people, to bomb the tents in Rafah. That's the munition of choice, the 155mm shell. $40 to $50 billion of Australian taxpayers' money is being used to facilitate the weapons industry. So it's moving into the weapons corporations. It's coming out of the fossil fuels industry into the weapons corporations and then out to harm people throughout the world.
I noticed there were some people walking towards the building, so I started telling them that Rheinmetall is arming the Indonesian military, suggesting that they quit their jobs.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has been invited to address both houses of the US Congress in the coming weeks, enraging some, including Democrat Senator Bernie Sanders, who called Mr. Netanyahu a war criminal.
Well, one copper gave us a lecture about how they're going after criminal activity, which I couldn't understand at the time, because they seem to be doing the opposite. They charged me, not any of the people who assaulted me. They're not investigating Rheinmetall for war crimes, for breaching international law.
Move comes 9 years after the UN Special Envoy for Children in Armed Conflict recommended Israel and Hamas be added to the list of violations during the 2014 war in Gaza. 540 children died in that conflict.
40 billion a year, 40 to 50 billion they're spending at the moment on the development of weapons, of the weapons industry, of weapons technologies. This includes surveillance, munitions, components. It's an enormous spend, and that spend is being used to directly kill people in Gaza. And we can see that the exports are being sent into this sort of US war system that they have at the moment in Ukraine, Gaza, Europe.